Hey guys, Bellatrix Pretzel here. Thank you for joining me for yet another speed build. So this one is Luxury Garden. It was built on a 30 by 20 lot, and it came out to just under, well, sorry, it came out to 180,640 simoleons. So this was a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom build, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So for this build, I actually recreated a house that I built maybe a year ago. The outside looks very, very similar. Like, you know, the plants the plants are probably a little bit different because I have gotten a bunch of different packs since then. So I have been able to decorate it a little bit differently. But the shape of the house and the layout of the ground floor is pretty much the same. Yeah, I'm going to be doing quite a few actually rebuilds of past builds of mine that I built before I started my YouTube channel, because some of them are actually look very nice, and I think you guys would actually enjoy seeing them built and having them available for download. Yeah, alright. So, the garden itself is very manicured. Like, it's very detailed, as you can see. There's a lot of separations going on, where I'm, separating, like, every section has its own, I guess, like, little purpose or whatever, There's the pool area, there's this fountain, pond, whatever area. There's just, that entrance, which, just welcomes you with flowers and a bunch of beautiful plants. And there's a gardening section, which, yeah, there we go, right there. So it's just very, very organized, but it's still very pretty and aesthetically pleasing. I mean, in real life, I think I'd completely fence off this property, since the garden is completely exposed and anyone can just walk around. But it's The Sims. We'll pretend that this is fine. Yeah, so just a lot of plants in here, but at the same time there aren't. If that makes sense. Like, my modern utopia build that had a lot more plants, but I feel like this garden might actually be, I wouldn't say bigger, but there was the potential for probably a lot more plants if I had done this just a little bit differently, if I had organized it a little bit differently. Yeah, so I realized I actually needed a little bit more room in the front before that little nook pushed out, so I could actually fit a full bathroom. Because in my head it is a 3-bedroom place, but in my head there's 4 Sims that live in here. So, I mean, while in real life having 2 showers would be enough for 4 people, in The Sims it's definitely not enough. You definitely need more bathrooms in The Sims than I think you would need in real life. Yeah, just chucking in some windows right there. Yeah. So the outside pretty much stays exactly how you see it now. I do add some lights by the end of the video, and is there anything that I change? I'm trying to actually remember if I changed anything. I don't think I changed anything drastically in the garden. Just a couple colors here and there. Anyways, you guys will see that's all the way at the end. Alright, so there we go, just picking a nice wall color for it. Actually, I really like that color, but I do end up changing it because I end up changing it to just a darker color, because I found that the light gray, the almost white gray, was just gave the whole house just too pale of an appearance. It is quite nice, but I found like the contrast of the soon to come dark outside just worked a lot better with this house because there are a lot of pale colors and I didn't want it to be just like one big color wheel of white, if that makes any sense. Yeah, so that's just the dark one that I end up going with. It's not a huge change, it looks the same, just a little bit darker. Anyways, sticking some plants up there. It would have been cute to do a little like balcony sort of area there, but I found that it was just too small, and making that bigger I don't think would have looked that appealing. So I was originally going to go with that layout for the kitchen, but it didn't make sense with how I envisioned the rest of it, so I just chuck in another wall separator there, well, half wall I should say, expand the kitchen. It's a lot bigger, there's so much more counter space, which, considering there are no walls to have like overhead cabinets, you probably need the extra storage of more counters, so I think that worked both realistically and aesthetically. There we go, another half wall to separate the living room off from the entrance. If I'd kept the rest open, I feel like it would have very much limited the decoration options, I find personally. Like, I don't really like putting furniture in the middle of a room. I feel like it interrupts the flow in a way, so I liked the look of the half walls there, and I do add in a little bit of a wall separator as extra decoration. I find it just really nicely polishes off the living room. Yeah, alright, so there was a fireplace, so I figured I'd probably have a chimney or something there, but nothing looked good, so I just decided no. I guess, it's probably an electric fireplace, and I don't think those need chimneys. So yeah, there we go, just adding a couple decorations, making that little reading nook area look a lot better. Adding decorations to the bookcases. I love the short bookcase, the one that I have on the floor, but I feel like it doesn't come with the look of enough books. It just looks so empty, and I hate that. I needed more books, so just added it up. Like, I'm looking right now at my bookcase, and it is completely full. I mean, granted, it is not all books. I have some stuffed animals in there as well, but like, it's completely full. There's not one empty shelf on there. I even have the top of the bookcase, which isn't actually a shelf, just the top to close it off. I have that covered in things too. Like, anyways, I just felt like the empty bookcase was very boring and it just wasn't realistic to me. Anyways, clearly I'm working on the living room here. I'm just adding details here and there just to make it a little bit more lived in. I mean, this house is very sleek and neat looking, especially on the ground floor. It's not very crowded and messy or whatever, but I wanted it to look just a little bit lived in, so that's why I added all those little knickknacks on the table. Yeah. Alright, so the rug in the living room that you guys saw me mess around with, I really liked how it looked, but I feel like when you have an open space concept, it looks a little awkward having carpets in two areas so close to each other. So there's the carpet in the little reading nook, and then in your living room, and they're just like, the carpets are 2 steps apart. Like, that just I found it looked a little weird, so I decided against it. I decided I preferred the carpet in the reading nook as opposed to in the living room. So yeah, there we go. You'll notice I go a little mirror crazy in this build. Like, right there in the entrance, there's 3 mirrors. In the master bedroom, I think I end up with 4 mirrors. I don't know what it is. I was just like, I really enjoyed playing around with them. I thought it just looked very, very nice. Yeah. So just trying to make that look better. I kind of wanted the whole thing carpeted, but I didn't want the whole thing carpeted. Like, I wanted at least a whole wall, as you saw. I wanted the perimeter. That's the word I'm looking for. The perimeter carpeted, more or less. But it was starting to look really bad. So I was like, you know what? No, I'll just go along that wall. Unfortunately, that whole area was just like one square too long. And I didn't have any runners that that were long enough to fill it up completely, which really annoyed me. So I'm gonna have to live with that little bit of separation between the two pieces, but at least most of it's covered. So yeah, just adding a little bit of lighting everywhere. I didn't want to use the same overhead lightings that I always use. Looking back now, I actually kind of wish that I'd kept those candles on the coffee table in the living room. It actually kind of looked nice. I mean, it looks fine how it is, but I actually really like it looking back now. Yeah, I was trying to get creative with the lighting, putting those small wall lights that don't brighten up too much in those little corners just to keep it a little bit interesting, and I completely lost my train of thought there. I apologize. To be completely honest, when I do these voiceovers, I don't really plan notes. I probably should, but I don't. Like, literally, I have a piece of paper next to me, and all it has written on it is the name of this build, the lot size, how much it cost, and how many bathrooms and bedrooms. Like, those are my only notes when I go in for voiceovers. So that's why I'm always like, well, first of all, I'm always saying because I'm just trying to think of the next thing to say. Because, yeah, no notes. Anyways, hence I lose my train of thought a lot, and then I go on tangents, like I just did. Whoops, my bad. So yeah, tiling that bathroom. Yeah, okay. Almost done the ground floor. Oh, did I already add? I sort of stopped paying attention to the actual video. So I'm a little lost. Alright, anyways. On to the master bedroom. Let's pretend I know what I'm talking about. So I really like when the master bedrooms have both a shower and a tub, like separate shower and tub, like this one does, but I found for this particular one, it did look a little cramped, to be honest. Like, you know, I felt like it was too small of a space to have all of that there. If it was like 1 square bigger in width or something, I think it would have been a lot better, but whatever, it worked. To be honest, I'm really, really sick of decorating bathrooms. Like, there's only so many items to use, you know? And it's just, I don't know, I'm so sick of them. And in my next build, actually the one that I'm going to post this coming Monday, I decided to make a base game compatible build, so, you know, only using base game items, and so far it's turning out very nice. I haven't finished it yet, but it's turning out very nice so far. It's just when I got to the first bathroom that I was decorating, I was like, oh my god, there are no items in here. Oh my god, the tiles. It's just, oh my god, it was brutal for me. I got so used to all these packs, and I didn't realize how dependent I was on especially flooring and walls for the bathroom. I didn't realize how dependent I was on the other packs until I did that. I was like, oh my god, this is gonna look so bare and horrible. Anyways, so working on the master bedroom, I was trying to move that mirror over, and I realized that I was in the wrong camera mode. You can only do that when you're on this Sims 3 camera. And I personally do not like building with the Sims 3 view. So I never have it on there. So I was like, oh, why can't I rotate this? I know I should be able to. Anyways, that was what's going on in my head. Yeah. So, I mean, this is a very nice sized bedroom, but maybe it was because of all the, like, the door placements, and I like lining furniture up with the windows, that I had a hard time getting the layout correct. I got it in the end. I'm very happy with how it turned out. I had a wall separator like I did in the living room, just to sort of close off the little work area a little bit. And yeah, I think it looks very nice. Yeah. Sorry, I keep losing my train of thought. I'm also a little bit distracted today, so yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, just adding a little decorations on there. I think that's the first time I've ever used that specific plant, the one I stuck in the corner. Like, I never used that. I feel like I always use the same, like, 10 plants in all of my builds. So I'm sorry if that's really redundant. It's just they're what I like. I always try to use different plants. That's why I check out so many of them. I'm like, maybe I'll like it for this space. I didn't like it for the other one, and then, it doesn't work. Or I like that, or I like a certain plant as like a tabletop or to go on top of a dresser or something, and then I realize that it's actually way too big for that. Like the other way around isn't a big deal because I could just size up the items, but when it's a big pot and you kind of wanted it to go on top of a table and it just doesn't work, you're just like, well, darn. That's usually the problem I have with plants. Anyways, yeah, so just I keep trying to get it to look a little bit more lived in with the details, like all the files that I had on the desk. I mean, on one hand you can say that they were business people and they worked from home and that's all their filing papers, their business contracts, but on the other hand it could just be any other person with any other job and it's like their tax papers and bank statements and whatever, it's realistic to have some sort of filing system for them. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do that in the parents' bedroom this time. That's what it would be. Alright, so for this room I ended up actually switching it to the longer room. Yeah, right there. In my head it's two daughters living with their parents here. One of them, this one, she's very, very artsy, so she's loving the bright colors. She paints a lot. She has a lot of wall decorations. Yep, that's one of them. I'll talk about the second sister when I'm doing her room. But yeah, so this, oh my god, I can't think today. So this kid, she's, like I said, she's very artsy, and she's also very sentimental. Like, the wallpaper I end up picking in my head, it's like, this is the wallpaper she had when she was a kid, when she was younger, and she's so nostalgic that she didn't want to paint over it. She has those snow globes that she used to collect as a kid. She just keeps them around for memorabilia's sake. Like, she doesn't collect them anymore, but it just reminds her so much of her childhood that she keeps them around. I also add butterfly decorations on the wall soon, as you'll see. And in my head, that's also, that's something she liked. She loved butterflies when she was a kid. She has the picture on the desk. She's going to have them on the wall. Just sort of, leftovers from her childhood. That was my thinking with it. Yeah. So just adding a little bit more artwork on there. Just trying to really, really fill it up with art, give you the feeling like she loves art, that maybe she painted that painting that's above her bed, maybe she sketched those little drawings that are on the other wall near her bed, like, empty canvases, filled up canvases, everything, I thought about putting curtains. I didn't find any that I liked. You guys by now should know my internal struggle with curtains in The Sims 4. But yeah, alright, so daughter number 2, she's very girly, she loves pink, she's very clean and proper, but she's also like this huge nerd. She loves science, she loves space, she wants to be an astronaut when she's older, so sciencey, spacey decorations on the wall. I try to look for appropriately themed decorations, but unfortunately that astronaut sculpture was just a wee bit too big for a bedroom. But I think when she grows up and she moves out and gets her own home, like, when she gets the money for it, she's definitely gonna have a sculpture like that in her backyard, I think. So So I gave her 2 bookcases, because in my head, you know, she's just a nerd. She loves to read, she loves to study. She probably has a bunch of books on space and different planets and galaxies in there. A couple of science textbooks that she kept from her previous years in school, just because she loves going back and looking at the different information. Yeah, and I was just looking for some decorations that I could put that were appropriate for her, so I felt like that worked out for her. Yeah. Okay, guys, just let me know if you prefer when I record and you see the items bar at the bottom, or if you prefer my other way of recording, like I have been in all my past builds, where you see nothing but the build itself. Both work fine for me. You know, they both come out in relatively the same level of quality, so just let me know in the comments below if you prefer my recording like this or back to my original way of recording. Yeah, anyways, just finishing up there, adding a couple of details. I had to be honest, the upstairs landing in the hallway turned out to be very, very blank. I probably could have put a little bit more effort in there, but I honestly just don't know how to decorate hallways. They're so skinny. Like, I chucked mirrors on one of the walls and it looks nice, but then when I was taking the screenshots, I realized, well, all it's really doing is showing the wall across from it, which is completely blank. So there's kind of a fail at trying to make that interesting. I think I just made it more boring in a way. Whoops, sorry, my bad. So I put a plant, I put, painting up there, trying to make it a little more interesting, but honestly, I don't know how to fill up hallways. Like, I'm just looking at it right now in this specific angle, and I'm like, oh my god, that is so empty. Ugh. Anyways, I keep that balcony very simple, just a few plants and one sitting area. I mean, it didn't really need much more. It's a long balcony, but it's a small balcony. It's, not much room for activities up there. It's just, relaxing. You grab a book, sit out there, you relax, whatever. Yeah, and for the back, you have that sitting area already, so for the back deck, I just put in a plant and a barbecue just to fill it up a little bit, and because who doesn't love barbecue, right? Yeah, anyways, putting a few plants in there because I just decided there weren't enough. Yeah. Whoa, that was an awkward view. Okay then. Anyways, me and camera angles. So just so you guys know, I did forget to record myself adding in the garbage and the mailbox. I just sort of completely forgot about adding them all together. But when it comes to the screenshots, they'll be there. You'll see them in there. So yeah, just adding a couple more details surrounding the little, I don't know what to call those little areas with fence, lighting up the pool, brightening it up a bit, darkening the rim, just to make it a little bit more interesting and less all white, nothing but white, Yeah. Anyways, there we go. Here are the screenshots. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button so you know when my next videos are out. I post 3 times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, but the time of day varies. So yeah, as always, the link to where you can download this is in the description below. Link to my Facebook as well, so you guys can check out all my builds. I sometimes post a couple little sneak peeks in there, and if you go to my YouTube page, there'll be a link to my Instagram, which is a couple of sneak peeks, but it's also my personal Instagram.